And he did it with a big frontside air reverse. He's up once again, loading up for something huge. Has speed, and he's going to go to the air again. Up monster alley-oop, and he sticks it.
Woohoo!
Beyond full rotation. And again goes to the air. You are kidding me. Wow. 2 huge alley-oops. Both unbelievable.
I think it lacked a little variety.
Very repetitious.
Oh, man, I am goosebumps from head to toe.
How's the way he stopped those things? He's still going.
Oh, that is unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable.
More waves on the way. Pots with priorities. The world champ, John Florence. Deep bottom turn, layback hack. Right in front of the oncoming section. Now just stretching it out, waiting for a second maneuver. A big down carve wrap with the extension. He's got some room to slowly emerge out in front. He'll lay low. He wants this thing to just open wide up. Standing tall in the pit. Florence has some room to move. Now finishing with a big layback dagger in the closeout session.
Here we go. Morais taking off. This is your shot at it. Needs an 8.9. Just has to surf this wave like he did his last. Goes all out on the first turn. Again, swooping, opening up those arms and really digging hard on the rail. Off the bottom, into the lip now. Just a transition turn there. So much pressure being applied to the tail by both surfers at the moment. A clean finish. Fred likes the feel of it. Here we go, live action. Julian out the back once again. Jeremy's there too. Has a look at this section. Ducks under that curtain. Drives out onto the open face now. Draws that turn out. Up into the pocket of the wave once again. Big speed carves off the top. Wilson looking for a steeper wall so he can start to mix things up. Sets up the tube on the inside though. And punches through the curtain as the wave tries to clamp on him. This wave's holding open now though. And he goes into the second section. Still rolling through this one. The hands go up.
It just makes sense that the fans would choose Toledo. Like you said, from the opening round all the way through, he's been untouchable. Driving down the line with a lot of speed is Felipe as he lays down the down carve. Packs it right there with a solid punch in the pocket, drifts the fins. 3 great moves and Toledo still going. Cool little gouge to slide and shuts it down. Toledo, you are an animal.
Wow. 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 This is just backing up that 8.83.
Score. How far up? Who knows? Let's have a look at Mick 7. Well, he's claiming it's a 7, so let's have a look at it. Beautiful searing maneuver from Mick. Changed up his equipment, Joe. Got the inside info. It's a channel bottom on the advice of Fletchy. Let's see if it pays off. Beautiful turn there from Mick. He draws off the bottom again. Another searing maneuver. What a heat we've got on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Are you not entertained? And as we click to another camera angle, Mick Fanning just absolutely slashes that one and says, yep, that's a 7.
I liked it a little better than a 7.
I mean, yeah.
He really does look so good out there, Ethan. And here's John. Good call to get this wave off early. And, wow, nice big turn from John. Smaller wave, but looks like it's going to set up for the barrel. And,
Wow, tube time.
wow. Great way to start the heat here from John. Another big hack. You can't ask for a better start to that than your heat.
No, absolutely. Okay, the bird's eye view here as we see John just coming down the point, tucks in perfectly, drags the arm, gets a little tube time, maintains his position right up high at the top half of the wave, then comes in, and then that trademark layback hack that he has just used as a weapon to win so many events.
Florence parking it here, getting the vision, and he is loving his fast start in this heat right now as he travels through this one. I love the look up that he got at the end, the cheeky little look up at the tower as well. And we talked about the relationship he's had with this country. That's basically to do with the waves, a lot of other factors as well. And he is loving his chance to compete in pumping surf it.
Oh, this turn here is just so packed with power, and that's about as much emotion as you're going to see out of John Florence in terms of a claim.
And you were right, Richie. I think the last time he competed here was 6 years ago. So it's been great to have him back in South Africa.
But have a look at this set, Joe.
Standing nice and deep. Hasn't been able to switch his boards out yet. Blitzes the first section. Big windup. There's a solid wrapping maneuver. Absolutely flying now into his third hack. Stretches out the carve. This thing growing through the inside section. Beautiful top turn. Pulls into a healthy looking cavern. And fights his way out. Mick wants more. Perfect positioning. That wave spits him out in the first section and he comes out of there.
Wow. Yes, that was pretty slow. And we were all wondering, what's he going to bring this morning? Well, it's brought quality waves. Here goes the backhand attack, an assault really from Caroline Marks' first turn. Lightning speed. Look at the flow she's got here. Into the bowl, bang, into the lip. And just keeping that velocity down the line. Another big hit from her. Drops out of the lip. And so composed and gathered. And she is zeroing in on a section here. Gives it the treatment, belts it one more time. Caroline Marks absolutely streaking through the final section. A big hanger to finish. Brilliant surfing from Caroline Marks.
Yes, I love it. This is what, you know, as a surfer, how you want to perform. As a spectator, is what we want to see. He said the heat against Kelly was a big one. There was a few nerves involved with that. I just think the gravity of that heat was weighing on him. But even on this first scoring wave here, this 617, you can tell he's opened up again. He's feeling a bit free. Here we go, Toledo.
Oh my goodness. Felipe Toledo, first turn, snap to slide. Healthy looking wall. How about that searing carve through the open face, back off the top again. Driving off the lip line, beating so many sections. Another big smooth hook. Sets up that snap, right back to the top again as he meets the lip. Throws it off the lip again as a solid finish.
He's already loaded up enough pace to let go of another big hit straight after. Here we go, Fred trying to find his way out of combo. Again, so speedy through that first hit. And he rages through a couple more carves down the line. Bashing the lip there, just tweaking the tail a little bit. Nice big slice there. Surfing so well, this rookie. The only rookie left in the mix here. His second quarterfinal appearance this season, and he gets a big finish on the inside. Likes the feel of it. Really great combination with that ride.
Well, he needs to be over an 8.58 to get there, and a little bigger wave, and there was no mistakes in that wave at all.
Looking for opportunities, and obviously as the heats go by, the better read they get on this swell. And in with an entry here, Dora. Then he'll swing one, just over 7 to go in this. What's he got? We see him on a steep wall here. Off the bottom, bangs one. Nice and steep. Little drift in that turn as well. Again, hits it nice and hard. Really critical in the pocket. Judges want to see that. And it is a dynamic pocket, absolutely racing away. And he finds himself some cover. Gets in a real throaty tube. He'll go again here. Pulling in, grabbing the rail. Yago Dora streaking through a backhand barrel. Wow. Makes it out and goes floppy. Loves it.
He swept the European leg, and he's also a pipe master. Medina hard off the bottom. Gets that jam on the shoulder, and now the wall's opening up. Big flow. Pulls it perfectly. Nice, healthy looking backhand carve. Medina under the lip. Looking solid. Back to the lip line to connect one more time. Looks like he wants to pull in. It's wide open. Beats that section. Gabriel Medina with an unbelievable barrel through supers. Strider Wasilewski, that was incredible.
You gotta be kidding me! What a specimen! This guy is just an amazing conductor of the orchestra of the ocean. I just can't even believe what this guy's putting together right now. That was amazing. That thing funneled out so hard, and when he pulled up into the bowl, grabbing the rail, just speed lining, that was just incredible to thread the needle like that. That was, wow.
Let's take another look at the 9.5.
Yeah, let's have a look here. First wave of the set, nice and clean. Wind's gone offshore. Carissa hooks into that first maneuver, getting the board ready. Up through the lip again, showing some variety. Big snap again off the top, off the bottom, and straight into the barrel. Beautiful transition. Comes out nice and clean. Carissa Moore starting to light it up. She knows she's got it. Joanne Defay is looking sharp. She's in good form at the moment. Carissa not taking any chances, leaving no stone unturned. She pulls into the barrel and comes out flying through that next section.
To really draw his turns out. Steep section here, gets his board almost vertical, but spins the tail and sets up the barrel on the inside. A well-constructed wave so far. Lots more to give down the line, and he goes to the layback, mixing it up, looking and feeling like the best wave of the heat.
Jordy Smith falls on the first opening ride. A short one there. That gives Toledo some room to work out this lineup. Passing Jordy for his first section to work with. It's a nice, clean, rapid cutback. Toledo off the bottom now. Keeps that connection with that highline wrap. Nice top turn carve, easy pace. Wall's growing, and he'll throw another big down carve. It's going to start to get hollow for Toledo. Slamming on the brakes. The first vision of the morning goes to the Brazilian from Ubatuba. Stalls for another big section, nice and deep. Toledo has plenty of room to come flying out. Drives off the top again with a huge hammer.
That could be another 10.
And what a way to kick off finals day.
Well, his last time here at Jeffreys Bay, Joel Parkinson out in front at the moment, now trying to get rid of a 6.67 to move further ahead of Michelle Bourez. And Joel's got a beautiful looking wall here, a couple of big turns in the pocket of this wave already, setting up the tube on the inside. No one can find it better here at J-Bay. And Joel's locked deep inside the pit, over the foam ball. He's going to find his way out. The best barrel ride we've seen in the event so far.
Got a little casual.
Wow. Joel just too casual, but I mean the score was already on its way. He puts his hands together and says thank you very much.
And just so many opportunities out there for Gabriel to choose from. Medina taking off with some speed. Big section breaking at his heels. Now going to the lip line and crushes it. Avoiding that wild lip line again. Searing into his second carve. Passing Italo a little bit behind the wedge, which could be a good thing. Big vertical airdrops. Right into a heavy finishing move. Medina hangs on. Strider, that was one of the best backhand turns I've seen completed at Jeffreys Bay.
Holy smokes, the guy is on fuego right there. The boys loved it from the peanut gallery down the line here. Let me tell you, you can see that set coming. I watched him struggle into that first one, kick out thinking, what is going on? And then he ends up on that wave. What a talent that guy has.
Coming off, coming into South Africa in good form.
Watching waves out the back, and it's Kanoa Igarashi's turn, representing Japan. Going for a solid vertical blast out the back. Really leaning into that body torque, change up off the top. Burning some speed down the line and jams it hard off the lip. Another quick snap right into a bottom turn. Beautiful flow through the floater and a quick one off the coping again. Fin throw reverse for Igarashi. Looking like we've got world number one in motion. Toledo, two-time J-Bay champ, throws down a clean down carve right back to the lip. Disconnected off that second section, and how about that perfect slice into the pocket. Toledo still running after this one as John gets started. Two of the best on tour, going back to back here in different heats.
Yeah, a little bit off kilter as we see Tati, second wave of the set, shaping up nicely.
Weston-Webb with a load of speed here. Look at this section for a hard off the bottom. Really nice whipping carve under the lip at speed again. Just dragging that tail and those fins through a really powerful motoring lip. And loads of whitewater here. She'll deal with it pretty well. Tatiana has gone a long way down the point here. She might get another section stand up here. Weston-Webb, another big turn for her. And she's in rhythm on this wave. She's really centered on that board and does really good work. So going close to the excellent range of the first couple of numbers. And
takes a selfie on the way out. Flying down the line is Griffin Colapinto. Big carve, drills it off the lip. A massive float right in front of Igarashi. And the young guns from California are putting on a show, posturing to the panel, and enjoying perfection here at Jeffreys Bay.
But it's all the other stuff, the foundation work, which sincerely improved. Italo
on a good sized wave here, covering a lot of face. And now driving up into the first section. Beautiful turn there, well placed. Maintains control and doesn't wait before getting back up to the top and giving it another bash. This wave flattening out for a moment, but he knows he's got a lot more wall to work with down the line. Grabs that rail for a moment. Beautiful turn there. Dropping out of the lip with every manoeuvre. And again, just pulls it up under the lip. Hammering towards the end section. And a monster finish here. And he likes the feel of it. Stays on his feet. Cool down, he's saying. We got more to come. 17 minutes to go. What a semi-final clash.
Fantastic answer from Italo. We've seen the big set waves be rewarded handsomely all day. There is a point of difference, and that was a big set wave.
Jordy and Kyle get great numbers.
And speaking of Jordy, lays the rail down on that Smith shape, straight up vertical. He's the king of those transitions from wraps to snaps. Quick vision inside the tube, stalls again for it. Smith with some travel time, sneaks out the low road.
Such a great read. Knew that he needed to, in order to complete that barrel, just stay low, get out before the thing closes out. Such a great read and awesome stuff there from Jordy Smith.
And Tatiana Weston-Webb will get the one behind it. Tati winds up. Clean little backside drop through the open face, right on top of Sage. She'll belt it off the roof. Total control. Third little down carve, and Tati lining up the lip, crushes it. Resetting that front foot, huge wind up, laid off the top, and she's controlling all these re-entries. Incredible ride just to stay on her feet. After we see Sage Erickson getting hung up on the top, Tati knew she really wanted to capitalize on that mistake. And judges are going to love that commitment, going off the top multiple times to the inside corner.
Meanwhile, Robinson, is he inside this? Is he coming out? He is. Jack Robinson is absolutely flying through a barrel here. Shut the front door. Jack Robinson points at the panel. He ain't done yet. Big, meaty carve down again. And just belting it for good measure one more time. How about that stuff from Jack Robinson?
Oh my gosh.
Put him off balance though, and he couldn't hang on. Right behind him, Griffin now has the opportunity to shut this one down. Casual pace, but lots of speed. Now starting to really draw his turns out. Steep section here, gets his board almost vertical, but spins the tail and sets up the barrel on the inside. A well-constructed wave so far. Lots more to give down the line. And he goes to the layback, mixing it up, looking and feeling like the best wave of the heat.
Oh, for sure.
The design of choice for our surfers here, that single concave, being able to just bite and lock into the face for these big carving turns. But Callum with a little bit of work to do, but the boards are looking good.
Good man, Richie. And we're seeing it right into action. Big blast there from O'Leary. Crushing sections today. Throws one into the lip again. Swinging back into the pocket. Arcing turn on the third effort. Under the lip there on that backhand float. Right into a wrapping turn. He is in sync this morning. Driving hard into another big section as it hollows out. Looks like he has to, Potts. Medina taking off on a gorgeous wave. Good pace to start. Big hook on the first section. Speed line off the top. Jams it vertically on the third maneuver. Big float with the air drop, and now playing some catch-up. Doesn't take long, back into a backhand carve. Floats it. Coming around the corner, a lengthy float to pit. Going for just one gigantic punt. Now it's Yago's turn. He might be doing the same thing. He's got the racetrack. He's landed a lot of these today. There's a nice tail-high version of a full rotation.
What?
Yago Dora does it again.
Wow. Wow, this is super interesting. That was the same wave that Ian Gentile took off right up the point, and you can see here Yago, he's going, okay, there you go, there it is. That's what you wanted.
Looking to bring all that energy into the later rounds. Meanwhile, out in the action right now, Samuel Pupo, hard carve from him, just tightens up that, puts himself back in the pocket to set up, little snap turn from him. As he goes past Nat Young, just with an absolute ton of speed, and he'll look to pull in here, and he'll weave underneath a really nice section. Does well to negotiate at the bottom of the wave. It's not an easy place to maintain the speed and get a big throaty section for Pupo. Will come out of that. So a big double tube, and he absolutely loves it. We do too. I tell you what, there's more surfing on this wave. Another really nice snap with the release of the fins from Pupo. Just tearing this wave apart. Brilliantly surfed wave from Samuel.
How can he not be featuring in one of your top favorite surfers to watch? I mean, Sammy Pupo. I love the kind of lean back claim as he like stalks back to after getting out of that barrel. I'm just loving the way that this guy surfs and the way that he's approaching competitive surfing too. He's keeping it refreshing and fun.
As we see now, Italo on the outside. Unbelievable backhand snap. I think one of the most high-risk turns that we've seen on that outside section yet. Just fell out of the sky and still has the momentum as he tucks into the tube. Will he come through this one? He's driving and he reappears, hangs onto it. On his way to a monster score, trying to get rid of an 8.17. And he knows it's good. There's the salute.
He's going to leave Toledo out the back for the biggest set wave. Here we go, Joe.
World number 4, Medina locks in his first turn. Big vertical, falls out of the sky. Big hack on the second effort. Wide open face to work with. Another clean backside snap in the pocket, belting the fourth, blowing the tail out. Nice clean re-entry, keeping that pace well through the inside wall. Now looking for a big finish. Backhand float over the barrel.
A little bit of that happens. Someone is deep inside the barrel and emerges to a massive roar from the home crowd support. Jordy Smith just pouring his way out of a barrel and then into the lip. Hits it nicely, gathering speed again. It's as ever powerful and smooth at the same time. Jordy Smith into the lip. Really nicely done.
Yeah, there's someone at the keyhole waiting with a board and a leash. So, yeah, he's stopped running now, so we'll see what happens. It's just, there's a big set coming right now, so I think he's just taking his time. He's realizing that he can't jump on the rocks right now and go. As we see Italo on a big one on the outside.
Oh, big turn off the top too for the Brazilian. As he glides through a transition hit here, now looking just really to size up a big finish on this ride. And he is trying to chase down this score.
Here's the double up.
7.93. This thing's doubling up now as Italo climbs up into the pocket again, bashes it, falls out of the sky. And again, goes to the lip, and he hangs onto it. And there is the double fist pump. And that's exactly what he needed. A couple of big sections. World champ Pete Mel and the 11-time world champion Kelly Slater. And we're going to see Ethan Ewing get things started first here, having some kind of year, but still chasing that elusive first championship tour win. You'd have to like his chances here at Jeffreys Bay. He's got a nice clean wall standing up here. Big hook off the top. Nice power and acceleration out of that turn as he goes now to the layback jam on his way to a very solid start here in the semis. And the conditions only improving here on finals day as Ethan takes this one way down the line. And it looks like it's going to line up for a bit more on this final section too as he drives up into the lip and hangs on to the finish. Kelly Slater, that was impressive.
That's such good surfing.
There we go. That's what we love. Yeah, it's packed end to end here watching the finals, and that's what we like. We love a passionate crowd.
Yeah, the Groms, as we'll pick up youthful exuberance from Tatiana Weston-Webb, swinging on a bomb. There's that bottom turn she holds for so long and hits it hard off the top. Look at this section for Tati. Massive hammer. airdrop to finish as well. An explosion at Whitewater.
Here at the moment in this final, a seesawing battle between Ethan Ewing and Jack Robinson, and Ethan getting this one, Pete, during the interview.
Yeah, this 4 turns right here are solid as they come. Bigger wave, bigger section. This one here just tail taps, keeps that speed flying down the line into another beautiful arc. And then the finish, the big down carve, feels like to me that this is going to be a number that's going to go into his top 2. And if it's above the 7.67, he's going to cut into that lead. Matter of fact, if he gets the 8.1, he takes the lead. Beautiful arc there, pushing hard. Nice and clean, just the top to bottom. There was a couple double pump bottom turns, but oh, some passion. We like it.
Coming off the top with a 2-time back-to-back champ, Toledo. Big wrap there, solid section. Lift lines flowed into a layback carve. More room to move, Toledo. Clean wrapping cutback. Solid power hook. Lip line shows up, ditches the fins. Toledo layback jam onto the lip. So hot every time it returns to J-Bay. From the first round all the way to the final last 2 years. He's been untouchable. Seabass looking to answer to Carmichael in the barrel. Next section staying wide open. Now to maneuvers for Sebastian Zietz. Solid carve. Trims it under the lip. Sets up a beautiful down carve. Keeps that rail set. Nice and tight off that first section. Here comes the closeout. Hammers it.
Wow. Dad power right there from Sebastian Zietz.
Felipe Toledo does decide to commit to this wave against William Cardoso. The 2-time J-Bay champ digs in. A beautiful hack to start. Floats it off the roof. Toledo wraps it into the pocket again. Driving through that big top turn wrap, showcasing all that power. Big vertical blitz off the lip, jams it again. Power hack down the line for Toledo.
Wow.
Beautiful front side down carve, holds the rail, then resets for the lip to hit. And flows down to the finish.
Holy moly.
Felipe loves to explode out of the gates, putting pressure immediately on William Cardoso.
You just paddle, one stroke is like 10 on a shortboard. You ride a 1-foot wave and a 10-foot wave and it feels the same, you know?
Love that. And love this. Kanoa Igarashi chasing down the lead now. Needs a 3.56 to get in front. Couple of big turns on the outside already. Wave cooperating. And Igarashi, he's answering those sections with some big hard turns. Rolling through to the inside. There's that speed Barton Lynch was talking about, accelerating through that last manoeuvre.
Oh, that wave was just beautiful. The work off the bottom, the hold in the bottom turn, the length that he was drawing those bottom turns, and then the tightness out of the top. Absolutely beautiful surfing. Obviously getting the score, obviously going into the lead, and going to have 2 rides, in my opinion, better than Peterson, Crisantos, and Peterson's going to have some work to do.
Owen Wright with second priority. Medina is allowed to take this wave. Locking into a bomb here at Jeffreys Bay. Gabriel hard off the bottom. Sets it up well with that big top turn. Floats the section. Third maneuver, big vertical. Right through the coping. Hits it hard off the lip. It might double up. Now stepping on the tail. Gets a quick view under the hood at J-Bay. And he punches free. Strider, that was incredible.
Well, put your seatbelt on, Barton.
Hold on, folks.
Felipe's taking off. His first ride here. Nice big swoop off the top. Pacing himself nicely here. The wave steepening up. Quick hack to the face. Just cuts it short to keep that down the line flow. Now drawing that turn out beautifully. So big combos on the outside. We want to change up his approach now as this wave steepens through the inside, loading up this wave, starting to barrel. Toledo finds some cover, not particularly deep yet. And he'll go looking for the lip now. Huge float, drops out of the sky, climbs back into the pocket again. Timing impeccable. Looks to the tower and celebrates with the crowd.
Oh, so he should. He waited a long time for that wave, sat with the priority, picked a bomb. And you guys saw what happened.
Great performance. Great starter.
As time flies in the final, Medina and Italo Ferreira just positioning out there. Let's see if Italo can get this thing started. Lip on the head. He emerges out of the whitewater. He'll roll right past Medina. All focus on the lip line. Weightlifts on the drop. Stomps it, coming around the corner. Quick carve, right in the pocket. And now Italo, big re-entry. Right off the lip. Wide open face. Crushes it there. Driving through that backhand wrap. Ferreira, big finishing move down the line. He's created some space.
Wow.
One more big fan on a meaty section. And Ferreira putting pressure on Medina on his opener.
That's kind of where you want to start a final. You know, Gabriel Medina was playing the cat and mouse game up the point. Paddled Italo way up there thinking, you know what, I'm going to send him up there. I'm going to double back, which he did. Caught 2 little waves, didn't stand up, so it sort of kept that priority neutral.
He's got 3 championship tour wins. That includes a Pipe Masters title. He'd love to get a victory here at Jefferies, as would any of these surfers. This is a good-looking wall. Nice pace in the opening stages here. This rider, he looks to set up the barrel, find some cover. Michel Bourez, he's had a 10-point ride here at Jefferies Bay before. He would love to go near perfect again here to seize the lead. Stalling for the tube, holding onto that line. And a huge floater to finish, drops that tail. And it's an easy decision. He's going to take this first solid set. Let's see what he can do with it. There'll be more opportunities on the outside. Really lays in hard to that first section. Second swoop is even better than the first. Has a good rhythm on this wave already. 3 big turns on the outside. Now finds the barrel. And this wave just has a fantastic pace for him. Slowing right up and now really looks to open up on the inside. He grabs the wall of the wave. Well covered. He's going to come through this section. The wave spits. And he finds even more cover down the line. There's the salute. And that is going to be a big score. Possibly the biggest of the event so far.
It's tough to throw a perfect number at that, but I'll tell you, the surfing that he did on it, and first round 1, I mean, you are funny. Oh my gosh, what a showman.
Sebastian is getting a little caught behind there, Pete. And an opportunity lost because he was on his way to a pretty decent number. Some solid turns on the outside for the Hawaiian. Here we go. Felipe looking to lock in a solid second score. 7.73 on his first wave. And he just rips that one off the top. Still keeps that flow down the line. A longer, more drawn-out version of the same maneuver. And he is really tagging this one. Not done yet. Bashes it again. Excellent score on the way for Toledo, who's putting it all on the line and has more room to move. Huge float to finish.
Can't wait to see what went down on this wave. 7.93 is what he needs to better just to put it out of reach of Gabriel Medina. Nice opening carve there from Toledo as he races down the line, waiting for this wave to stand up. Beautiful conditions here at Jefferies Bay. Now he starts to pick up speed. One of the fastest surfers in the world, and there it is, that big down carve from Toledo. Jams it in the pocket again. I mean, this is, and there's that big lip line float, the free fall drop. He comes out and he said, yep, that's me.
So it looks like he's taking that advice on in the opening stages.
Well, and I think that there's confidence that it come from two guys like that telling him, first off, but also seeing the scores that he's been producing.
Here we go, though. Here comes the reply from Felipe Toledo. The Brazilian, the new world number 1, opens up with a searing frontside arc, getting right back into the bowl. Starting to square up, finding those transition floaters to get himself back down the line. Already so much damage done on this wave. And loading up for something big on the inside here. Mixes up his approach, climbs up onto the roof. I don't know how many turns was on that wave, but I'm guessing around 10. It all just happened so fast.
Oh, man, the acceleration he carries is just unbelievable.
Down the line, Felipe Toledo is considering swinging. He does. Picks this one off. Let's see what we can do with it. Loading up, so much speed. Big clean face out in front. Huge hook. Back up into the pocket, and again, absolutely obliterates the pocket. A third move. Beautiful calves now floating down the line, and he'll finish. She's going to execute that priority. Sally bails out. Doesn't want to get in front of Coco at all. Otherwise, she's in danger of an interference, but Coco, and she looks like she is going to deliver on this ride. A couple of beautiful turns already, falling from the sky on that float, up into the pocket once again. So finding a flow, transitioning nicely through to the inside, a positive finish.
Wow.
And that was a really well-constructed ride, and you could see that she was having to negotiate all the lumps and bumps along the way. Really smooth stuff. Passing that wave up. Lakey, she can swoop on it. Let's see if she can string one together here. Nothing better than a 2.83 at this stage of the game. Definitely looking in good touch with her equipment at the moment. That was a pretty solid hit. Driving up into it now. And there is a massive turn, throwing everything into it. She hangs onto it. And you got to love that.
Oh my goodness, are you serious right now? I think Lakey, we spoke about it. She looked frustrated, she looked fired up, and she came out with so much aggression on that last wave, and it really paid off. Maneuvers, but finding that those cuppy sections, but this wave from Lakey Peterson, I'm just so in awe of the surfing that she's doing this morning. Love the way that she's turning that surfboard over, really engaging that rail, engaging that bottom turn, touching the face of the wall. Just so important to see her keep it tight in that pocket, just finding that white water every time she does a turn. It's a great flow throughout this wave and comboing up her major maneuvers. The judges just lapped it up through 9 points at her. So great surfing from Lakey.
So there is a delineation between the two.
As we continue with this one, high line drive from Connor Coffin. Already has the lead on one of the greats. And just trying to avoid that big section to get something better. Just a redirect. It's getting real full as he's fading for the double up. Wants this thing to get nice and round and hollow. Now stalling and setting up the vision. Super deep, great line. Stand wide open. Connor comes flying out. Big arc off the top, and he hangs on to a huge finish.
It lives here, sees this wave, analyzes this wave to a T, and you bring that kind of opinion in.
Here we go, Medina up, tucking in on the first section, getting a nice pit. Solid little hit under the lip there. Wants to stay with this one. Gets that little hop happening to get down the line. Sticks it to the lip. A little float to set up this inside run through the barrel. He's still rolling through this one. That's got to feel good. And more to give on the inside. Really pushing hard on the tail through the end of that backhand carve and bashing over the foam on that last section. In a second, he's trying to get rid of a 7.33 to get further ahead.
How hard does that take off at this point in the day? You're tired, fatigued, and he somehow pulls it off and keeps the speed and does a turn like that. Again, look at this section here. Big section, tags it, carries all that speed. So he's had high impact moves on the outside on a solid set wave. You would feel like this is going to better the 7.33. The only real region that got a little weird for him, he had to turn down, but celebrates the finish because I feel like all of that surfing he did on the outside section, those big moves on the outside count for a lot.
Event at Jeffreys Bay. Freddie got started during the break.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it is just non-stop waves. You've seen some of the biggest sets of the day come through in that last heat, so it is no sign of slowing down. Frederico Morais loves this kind of conditions, said it's just like home as we see him flying down the line. He's got his work cut out, but I tell you what, this kid doesn't mind coming up against the big names, especially in these conditions. He's a big boy and he handles it well, just like that. Beautiful searing maneuver from Frederico Morais and backs it up again. Just a series of beautiful turns, combination of major maneuvers, speed management, and then drives through the inside, a little bit of a head dip there. But finishing off nicely is the young fella from Portugal. What a wave to start the heat. And
if the South African crowd was on hand to get behind him, we could see them in the background. I don't think they went home yesterday.
Why would they?
They stayed overnight down at Casa Corona. But here we go. Felipe Toledo throwing the first big air reverse of the event and sticking it. Well, this should score big. He's got to do some more down the line here, and he does.
Oh, why?
Just jinxed him. First alley-oop was next level, and now Jordy's got to try and find a reply. Sometimes you don't know what your rival's doing on a wave. That time, I'm sure Julian and Jordy got a look at Felipe soaring above the lip as he spun through the air. And Jordy just a little wobbly there that throws off his timing, but he might be able to turn this right around and start to open up. He pulls in, the wave spits, and then he finds the exit. Big carve on the open face. More traditional, but equally as impressive.
What a heat.
Finish.
What a heat. There's another set out the back as we take a look at the outside section here of Matt Wilkinson. But look how clean this wall is. Great wave choice. He does a nice carve right in front of Connor Coffin, and then that nice whipping bottom turn where he loads it up, goes straight up vertical. So, I mean, you look at this wave, very complete, all the way from the top to bottom. Again, this section here, attacking, free falling. So again, the judges want to see you have those critical moves on the outside and then back it up with critical moves on the inside. That wave, very complete.
And while we were at the break, well, Jordy unloaded on this thing.
Well, again, the conditions still improving as we see that wind coming from the correct direction, keeping those faces smooth. And Jordy matching the style and approach of the walls of J-Bay. I mean, literally his timing has been impeccable, just gliding through each and every section. That style, I mean, if you look at a judging criteria for a wave like this, I mean, obviously combination of major maneuvers is a major part of this, but the flow that you carry and the timing that you pull into in these sections, it's so important, and Jordy just knows it so well.
John down the end having a look at this one. This wave's doubling up a little bit, so he was willing to see what was on offer down the line here. Drives up into the lip. Did well on that transition hit to get to this section. Swings that board right around. And there is a monster turn, setting a lot of spray up into the sky. Got a clean finish as well, so a better start on that ride.
I'll tell you, using that back half of that section there, when you could choose a wave in that zone at this tide right now, it's going to be the most steep face that we have and the most juicy wave. You can do those types of moves, those drifting moves.
Here goes Florence, using his priority on this one. So far, so good. A big opening turn. Second turn, even better. Throwing buckets at the moment, as he just pivots on that tail, kicking those fins free, but maintaining control and a good down-the-line flow. And there is another huge hit, leaning so hard on the tail of his board. Needs a 7.4 to get the lead. Gets a finish on the inside. Looked pretty good, didn't it?
I would say that he's probably going to better than 9.
Here we go, John Florence. He'd be anxious at the moment. He wants to get rid of that 9. A beautiful wall standing up in front of him. Has to get going though. Pulls into the barrel, a dangerous move when you're that far out the back. But he does punch through the curtain. And now looks to line up the inside. We might see something huge here because John, he wants to take this score into the excellent range. Pulls into the barrel again, punches through over the foam ball, and there is a monster layback jam to finish that wave off. So much power in that turn.
He wanted to destroy that last section.
So I can't wait to get a couple with you later on, mate, once the event's over.
Watching this one now, Felipe Toledo open with a 9.5 under the priority of Jordy Smith. Has 2 arms in the pit to stall nice and deep. Can Toledo come out? He makes it. Now setting up his big first turn out of the pit. It's a huge carve. Big hack right in the pocket. Straight up on the lip for a lofty float and into the flats. Already with a 9.5 under the priority of Jordy Smith.
Been coming up against the best guys. And a couple of times he's been able to break through into the quarters. I think in those scenarios, he let the occasion get the better of him, and he lost a little bit of composure. But now into the semi-finals for the first time, he looks so focused and in tune, looking for a big result here. How's that hit?
He hasn't been able to do anything wrong. And again, with this win, he's been able to negotiate it. As Sean Thompson was saying, you know, you got to make adjustments, and he's got to make an adjustment within this heat because it's already picked up another 10 miles an hour offshore. So it's going to feel a lot different on the wave. I mean, we're looking at it straight on, and it's got those little ribs in the face. You can imagine when you're on the wave. But
all the way through this thing. So Felipe finding off the bottom there, coming up into the corner, big gouge. Wow. You know, these waves are setting up so perfectly. It's borderline too big, but it's not too big yet. And it's just perfectly wrapping down the point. The direction is holding it nice as he banks up again right there. And these waves are just giving him more space to turn. Wow, this is such a pleasure to be out here watching these guys. Huge rooftop right there. Are you kidding me? It is just firing out here right now. These guys going to town on the face.
Strider Potts has 10 fingers on his hands right now. He's asking for another 10 for the panel for this performance from Felipe. Wanted the bonus barrel, didn't get it there, but Souza's win was a QS. So Felipe could be the first Brazilian, if he wins, to take over the CT here. During the break, Frederico got a gem of a wave.
Well, Frederico Morais needing a 9.17, Joe, and this kid's been dropping bombs this entire event, taking down world champions with unbelievable surfing. He's going to need it here on this wave. Already off to a great start. Just holding that rail, banging it up through the lip, mixing it up, trying to give that point of difference all the way down through the inside. Now the wave starts to come into that car park section. Now we start to look down the line at impossibles. What's he got for us? He pulls into the barrel and sneaks out the end there. So not a deep barrel there to finish off, but a lot of big waves out the back. Felipe straight into the tube on the takeoff. He comes